Something from Truth and the War by E.D. Morel. Our national capacity to judge sanely of the present situation must be guided, as I have sought to emphasize throughout, by some clear conception of the ultimate aims we are pursuing in this war. At present, we possess no such clear conception. The terrible events which are convulsing Europe and the confusion which reigns in our own national councils alike militate against it, and there appears no constructive force articulate in the nation at this moment to visualize beyond the present and to detach the national mind from the mirage provoked by catchphrases such as come glibly to the lips of those who have spent most of their lives in talk. A monster styled Prussian militarism is enthroned before the national imagination, and that its overthrow alone is needed to re-establish peace and goodwill on earth is so persistently taught that to question it is denounced as virtual treason. That the German military machine is utterly ruthless and that some of its operators are deaf both to pity and to policy is true enough. The odious tragedy perpetrated last week in Brussels is but an additional proof. But the myth which, because of this, portrays Prussian militarism as a sort of entity in itself, a something wholly exceptional and peculiar, is not less fabulous or less calculated to distort the national sense of perspective in regard to the character of the European struggle, or to blind the national judgment to the nature of the elements which have been let loose by the rulers of the world. Those who reiterate incessantly that we are fighting Prussian militarism delude the nation. We are fighting a people of 65 millions, or, if you reckon in the Austro-Hungarians, of over 100 millions, who believe that we seek their destruction as a people. And it is the daily statements made by those who command the avenues of publicity among their foes and who claim to represent the intentions of their foes. It is these, far more than any statements of their own governors, which continually strengthen these people in that belief. That is the truth. The noblest utterance which this war has yet elicited has been given to the world by Miss Cavell herself. But this I would say, standing as I do before God and eternity. I realize that patriotism is not enough. I must have no hatred or bitterness towards anyone. To her, indeed, in that supreme hour, there seems to have come a divine message. Herself a victim to the barbarous insensibility that war engenders, her dying words were not an incitement to hate and revenge, but an appeal to the Christ ideal which the statesmen of Europe are trampling in the blood of the peoples, calling the while upon some pagan deity to justify their hideous work.